Coming up next on Virginia Outdoor Life, we're gone to Carolina to do some quail hunting. Plus, if it's a custom rod you're looking for, look no further. We've got the right equipment for the job. Not to mention a great half hour, and it's all straight ahead on Virginia Outdoor Life. Next. Hi, and how are you? Welcome to the show. This is Virginia Outdoor Life for Saturday, February 22nd. Along with Captain Eric Brindley, I'm Bob Matthews. We're in Virginia Beach where it is cold on the water, and we are at Bubba's. And if the wind stops blowing, I think we'd be okay, but it's not going to.
No, not today.
Hey, before we get started, I want to say you have been having a great time at some of these boat shows.
Right, we went to the sport fishing show over in Hampton, and we were at the boat show here in Virginia Beach, and just want to thank all the good people that came up and said hello while we were in the fisherman booth. It was just really, really great to meet all you folks that watch the show every week and to know how many of you are out there watching the show every week. So thanks again for stopping by the fisherman booth. Thanks again for saying hello, and we will try to get as many of your suggestions on as possible. I know you folks wanted to do different things, fishing, hunting, all sorts of stuff. We'll try to get as many of them as we can this year, but just a tremendous turnout and a lot of support out there for the show, and we're real pleased.
Keep the ideas coming in.
And send those pictures in.
Absolutely, which we'll get to a little bit later. You know, the weather's bad here today. Well, it's not bad, it's just cold. Talking about bad, we went quail hunting a couple of days ago down in Ahoskie. Cedric Pierce Farm was the place we went. The weather was about as bad as it could get down there.
About as bad as it could get. We sent Mike Bibbo down to go with the party, and we're lucky to get him back.
Yes, we are. Take a look, because it was some good shooting, even if the weather wasn't exactly what we wanted that day.
This is the second year we've been coming down here to see Pierce's shooting preserve. You know, you can't always have the kind of weather that you want. Last year we had great weather and the birds are flying great. The dogs were really impressive. This year, it's raining. The birds don't fly quite as well, but the dogs are working hard. Regardless of the weather, it's just a great time to come and gather with your friends. This is a great social sport. Shot, Brian.
Turn the right turn. King. Come here, King.
I have a lot of groups that come in from out of town. A lot from Pennsylvania, New York State, and as far as Massachusetts. 75% of the people that come here are from the Tidewater area.
You got another point right back here to the right. Whoa! 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 This is my second time down here. We came down here about a month ago, a little more than a month ago, and we had good weather that weekend. We had about 62 degrees, and the birds were flying awful well. But this weekend, although it was raining pretty good, we got a lot of birds up in the air, and we all got some good shots off. So 7.5's plenty enough to knock the birds down.
Behind you, Andy, right behind you.
Dogs are fantastic. Both times I've been down here, the dogs have been just absolutely amazing. We didn't leave a single bird out in the field today. As a matter of fact, we picked up an extra one today. Good boy. Come here. Whoop. Whoa. Whoa. Doesn't have to be right up on top of you, man. Right back there. Good bird. Good. Good. Come here, King. Come here, boy. Come here, King. Come here. Good boy. Get in here, my bird.
This is the fourth time we've set this hunt up, and although the weather's not with us today, but we're going on with it, and I believe everyone's going to enjoy it. But this started with just a small group of my friends that like to bird hunt, and with the decline in wild birds since I've been hunting, and I've been hunting for about 30 years, and every year the wild birds get less. So this here gives us a chance to do things like this and still be able to hunt birds and work young bird dogs, take new young hunters out hunting, and it's a quick way for us to do this with just where we only get to hunt maybe one day a week or 2 or 3 times a month.
He's gonna fly your way, Eddie, so don't miss him, will you? There you go. Good shot. Nice shot. Good shot, Corn. Whoa, Chief. Oh, it's in the tree, go. You son of a gun.
Whoa. I've trained all of mine myself. I do a lot of the training at home. I've got a training pen that I release birds in to start young puppies, and then a lot of my training I've done down here at Cedric's place. Release birds and let the dogs hunt them and point them, because it's so hard to find wild birds to train dogs on now that you almost have to have this situation.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Drop. That's pretty nice. It's a lot more fun, and they're going to put out plenty of birds, and you can use your dog or one of theirs, and you're going to get some hunting. You're going to get some shooting, which a lot of times when you go on a public land, you may not see anything.
Sounds good. Well, we got to take a break, finish up our soup. When we come back, rods or reels? Take your pick. Rods is what it is. Rods is what you want. Rods is what you're going to get. Custom rods. When we come back, it's Virginia Outdoor Life rolls on in Virginia Beach. Welcome back to Virginia Outdoor Life. We're here at Bubba's in Virginia Beach. We're making a pretty good dent in our soup, I think.
Yeah, delicious. Just what you need on a day like this.
Absolutely. And since it is cold and it's that kind of time when you kind of revamp the tackle box, if you're looking for a custom rod, now's a good time to go out looking for it, right?
That way, if you want to order one, you'll have it in plenty of time for the season to open up. We went over to J&B Rods and we talked with Jesse Buki there, and he showed us all the intricacies that go into making a custom rod. Today we're here at J&B Rods with owner Jesse Buki, and what we're going to do is go through the process of selecting a fishing rod and having one custom built. Believe me, there's a lot more to fishing rods than just going into the store and picking out a pretty one. Jesse, if I wanted a blank, let's say for fishing around the bridge tunnel, throwing some plugs, maybe a little bottom fishing for flounder and croaker, what kind of rod would I be looking at? What kind of blank?
I presume you'd want to go graphite.
Yeah, okay.
Spinning or casting?
Spinning.
I would go with the Saber blank, which is actually made by Penn, marketed under the name Saber for the custom rod builder. And that's a 7-foot blank. We cut it from the end to make whatever length that you want, and without changing the action.
Now, this is what it starts out as, just a plain straight piece of fiberglass graphite that's been wrapped around what do they call the inside?
The mandrel.
Mandrel, that's right, wrapped around a mandrel. Okay, now let's go to selecting some guides and a grip and a reel seat and all that kind of stuff.
All right, this particular one here, 6.5-foot blank, this is solid glass.
Right.
And I wanted to make a rod approximately 5 foot long, so we cut it.
Okay. Cut it off the tip. I mean off the blank.
butt.
Yeah, right off the butt.
Then took 1/4-inch masking tape and built that up, and we would glue our butt cap on.
Butt cap right on there. Okay.
Select the piece of grip, and then I would take and smear epoxy glue all in this area right here. Just let that drop down on there and roll it and make sure that's really saturated on the inside here. And then in one big motion, you just take and drive it all the way to the bottom.
Right.
So here it is, all the way to the bottom, and that's dried. Then we have to fit the reel seat. Take masking tape and just build up bushings to get it to fit close to the blank. That's all we're doing. Then I'm going to glue my reel seat I pack this in with epoxy glue. You can't get too much glue in there.
Right.
I mean, really saturate. And you put the reel seat back in position, and then we do the same thing with the foregrip. So now it's all in the position. Take and wipe all the glue off and all. Now, you mentioned the spine.
Right.
This little gadget right here is what they call a spine finder. It's just 2 ball bearings in a tube. It rolls on those ball bearings to the hardest spot. As you can see, there she wanting to jump, but that's where she'll lay. So then we just take and straighten the reel seat up where it's in line with the spine, and then we let her dry. That's one of the most important things about building a fishing rod is line the spine up with, where the guides will be with the spline.
Right. All right, what kind of guides are we going to put on here?
I use mainly Pacific Bay guides, and this particular style, what they call their T-style, is the one I enjoy the most. It's got a 1-piece stamp frame. There's no little weld to break loose or anything. Yeah. Now this little rod here, I sell a lot of them up in Wachapreak for flounder and all, and they're a fairly inexpensive rod, and this is what it's going to look like whenever it's finished.
Okay, so you painted it? Or
Well,
is that
that's
wrapped?
wrapped with thread.
Oh, you wrap the whole rod with thread?
Right. On this machine, it's faster than painting them, cheaper than painting them, and it holds up better than painting them. The one thing about this wrap, or any wrap, it doesn't help catch fish.
No.
It catches fishermen,
That's right.
and that's what my quarry is.
That's right. It's up to them to catch the fish.
That's right. You can spend hours upon hours in this thread work, and basically nobody wants to pay for it.
No.
And so that's one thing that kind of led me to my little, what I call my special process of taking the hat pins and then laying them. And that's basically how that started. Just nobody wanted to pay for the weaving, so hey, got to find an easier way.
Easier way, less time, less
Right.
money. So we're ready now for what is like the final stage. We're going to put the finish on it, the thing that makes it nice and shiny, right?
Right. I start with the tip and I work backwards. Then I'll take my torch and go over it, and that way the excess will drain off, and then I'll move on to the next one and work my way one back.
The difference between a rod that doesn't have finish like this, once you put the finish on, the threads almost disappear, and it becomes a really integral unit. Just makes a fine end of the job, or finish, as it were. Mm-hmm. A wide variety of services from Jesse here at J&B Rods.
Tips I can change while you wait.
Right.
Guides will take a couple
Well,
of
yeah,
days.
they were tips, of course. You know, just can't get those bluefish through that tip. We try. We're still cranking on it. Though. It won't go.
Welcome back to Bubba's here in Virginia Beach. This is Virginia Outdoor Life, and it is now time for us to open up the Outdoor Scrapbook.
From what I talk to people, their favorite part of the show.
Oh, absolutely. Here we go. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right, this is John C. Morrison, the fourth. He's from Norfolk, Virginia. He's 8 years old. That's a 33-inch rockfish, weighed 16.5 pounds. He was fishing off of Cape Henry with his dad and Captain Chris Christie aboard the Mimi.
Allison Cecil Sink from Narrows, a 275-pound Russian boar. Now, see, I just figured they were regular boars. I didn't know they were Russian boars.
That's one, and then the other's a 50-pound feral pig.
Yeah, you gotta like that. These were taken with a longbow and homemade arrows at Bull Mountain in Stewart. So there you go. It's homemade arrows. I'm very
doing
impressed.
it all yourself. I don't think I'd want to come up against a 275-pound Russian boar with a bow and arrow.
Well, just imagine if you miss.
I don't even want to think about it. Or if you hit him and just make him mad.
Yeah, well, that's true.
All right, here's Harold Eastlam, Woodcross Roads, with a 40-inch striper. He caught it in the bay last December. He was using a parachute and trailer. Says, love the show, keep up the good work. We're going to try, buddy.
Absolutely. Paul Moore of Portsmouth. This is a 9-point buck. This was taken last fall at the Dunn Hunt Club in Sussex County. Not bad. Welcome back to Virginia Outdoor Life. We're here at Bubba's in Virginia Beach, and it's time now for a hot product and a terrific new product for your truck.
Bed liner that's sprayed in instead of just slipped in. Won't let any moisture underneath it. Just take a look and you'll see how it works.
Well, this is one of the premier high-pressure impact-resistant polyurethanes on the market today. It's a custom spray-in product. You bring your vehicle, new or used, to us, and a new vehicle, we keep it looking like new. A used vehicle, we can make it look brand new. If you've used your truck like we use trucks, which is hunting, fishing, recreation, hauling yard debris, you want something in there that's going to protect your investment. The drop-in liners tend to corrode the truck bed by shimmying and destroying the coating on the bed. And once the coating is destroyed, of course, the liner then traps moisture and salt spray from the highways. This is absolutely adhered to the steel of the bed. This is sprayed right on and forms an airtight, watertight seal that's impenetrable by water or corrosive chemicals. Battery acid flashes right off of this stuff. The hardware for your tie down in your bed is taken off before we shoot the bed and is replaced once the application procedure is finished. The drain plugs are particularly useful to outdoorsmen that have their trucks out when the weather is bad. This bed will drain just like it did from the factory without any liner in it at all. The process is basically this. For a vehicle on wheels, such as the pickup truck, the man or woman arrives, drops the truck off. We begin to clean it and prepare the surface for the application of the polyurethane. The actual time from when we get a vehicle to the time it can leave is only about 4.5 hours. You can walk on it. As soon as we give you the vehicle back, you could throw a kid's bicycle into the back, but we ask you to wait 24 hours before you put a pallet load of bricks on it. But it's 97% cured when it leaves the shop.
We got to get out of here. We'll see you next week. He's Eric Burnley. I'm Bob Matthews.
Y'all take them easy.